Hi guys, and welcome to Almost Solitaire. We are now at this final scenario of, the Caesarian attempt to take control of Africa. So this will be the Battle of Bagradas River, 49 BC. Later on, of course, Caesar himself will plan an invasion of Africa, taking control of it, but that's a separate adventure. So this expedition really failed in the end, even though Curio had some success in the beginning, as we have seen in the Battle of Utica and all that, right? So, so after the Battle of Utica, Curio, of course, wanted to, take advantage of the situation and. Varro's troops had retreated back to the town and were pretty much locked in there. But so there was this kind of a siege happening again. But again, as happened before, Curio got word that there was Numidians coming. At this time, what is the name again? King Juba, yes, King Juba of Numidia is approaching. And that was, of course, a problem, so he had to kind of lose his grip of Utica again, the siege. So, but there was some events there. I think there were some from guys from the Pompeian side who defected over to the Caesarian side and Curio, and told him that the Numidian army approaching was not too large, because King Juba had to deal with some border conflict back there, so he had the bulk of his force with him, and he had just sent Sabura again. It was the guy that we saw in the Utica Part 1 battle, not this one, but if you remember that strange scenario we played where you roll the dice for activating the Numidians. So that was the general Sabura who led that army, and he was approaching again, and Curio thought that was a small army. It was indeed not that big and mostly cavalry, because he was right in that King Juba had got some impediments back where he were located and needed to take care of some. I'm not sure if that's a kind of a rebellion or border conflict happening, but he had his hands full there, so he had sent Sabura in advance with mostly cavalry. So Curio wanted to take advantage of that and be active instead of just waiting to be besieged himself in these. He had his fortress location nearby Utica where I don't remember what it was, for some Castrum Cornelia, perhaps. Anyway, so what he did, he took his cavalry. When he learned that the Numidians were camping close to Bagradas River, he took his cavalry, sent them on a night raid to surprise the Numidians, and that was a success. The attack was a success because the Numidians were really caught sleeping there, and many were killed, and probably quite a few were also captured, but a few got away as well. So in that sense, it was a successful raid, but it didn't really achieve anything strategically, because this was just a kind of a avant-garde, right, for the Numidian army. King Juba, he learned about this, what has happened, so he started to send reinforcements up to Sabura, and he sent most of his cavalry, that was Gallic and Hispanian cavalry, which will be these medium heavies here we will see in this battle, And he has his, of course, his Numidian light cavalry as well there. He also sent quite a big bunch of infantry as well. He picked the men for the fight, so quite a large infantry troop also coming, or not a troop, it was a more corps, you could say. And we're seeing warriors and stuff, so I guess they are, you know, probably Gallic troops, Hispanian troops, Celtiberian, you name it, right? So a lot of troops. And we also have some medium and heavies here, so probably some more organized, you know, maybe phalanx style troops there as well. Or actually not, as we will see in the special rules, these guys will also be moving and fighting as Julian Legion's rules, so these probably have Pila as well, actually. Anyway, so when Curio was, well, he also sent his infantry after the cavalry raid troops, so he was planning to do a full-scale attack with all his arms towards the Numidians. I think he left some forces back in the fortified camp he had as well. So as there was quite evident that there will be a new battle, Sabura wasn't to get caught again by surprise. So the Numidians did make up a plan. So they will be waiting along the Bagradas river, and when the Romans were approaching, they will do a feint retreat, right? They will pull back, and as the Romans advanced after them, they will at a certain point swing back and attack the Romans because they have the numerical superiority, and they were all the time pouring in new troops to the Numidians from King Juba's army. So in the end, actually, Sabura had the bulk of the Numidian army with him in his attack, and still Curio didn't really realize that. So he pressed on his attack with, you know, bad odds, you could say. And it was a warm day. I think the battle was, well, it was in 49 BC, and I think it was in August, so it was probably hot, and this was fought on a dry plain, so it's said that also the Romans were having some problems with, you know, water for the troops and all that, so not a good situation here for Curio, but still he believed in the victory and that the Numidians were a much smaller force than they actually were, so he pressed on. This dry, flat plain was excellent for the cavalry. Oh, it's also important to note that, as you can see here, we only have one cavalry unit on the Roman side, and that's because the cavalry that did the night raid on the Numidian camp, they were pretty much exhausted and could not participate in this kind of second wave attack that Curio is doing. So he took just some cavalry with him, and if I remember, it's just a couple of hundred, maybe over 200 cavalry or something like that. So that was a big mistake by him. He could have waited, I believe, or at least not pressed that hard, because on this open plain, because now the Roman army marching in a line with mainly foot units, they were easy target for the Numidian light cavalry, right? They were riding around, harassing them in the rear, and they, you know, throwing missiles at them and all that. So the Romans had real problems. They fought really hard, but whenever they tried to, you know, attack the Numidians, they just scattered, and when the some legionary units that attacked them were heading back to their line, they of course got attacked right away in the back again, and exhaustion was building up in the Roman army, and this became a real serious threat for them now, because they pretty much got surrounded and you know, well, hacked down or shot down one by one. So as things got a bit desperate, he realized, okay, we have a big army against us. We don't have a chance with the troops we have. We have too less of cavalry. We cannot cope with the situation. So Curio took the decision to move his army towards a hill to take a defensive position there. I think that's in this scenario it's depicted by these 3 hill hexes here. So they started to retreat towards that. Sabura saw that happening, and he saw a big opportunity here to crush the Roman army. So he sent some forces up the hill because he was closer and had faster troops. Remember also that Saburo is getting more and more reinforcements all the time during the battle, so he can always, you know, shift his old tired troops back to rest and bring up some fresh troops to the front and fight the Romans, who just are too tired at this point of time. So the Numidians cut off the retreat path of the Romans, and man, this was just a slaughter. They were pretty much hacked down. And when the Roman officers saw this and realized what was to happen, one rode up to Curio and told him, please take a few men with you and flee, because we will all die here. Curio, he couldn't bear the thought that he would face Caesar later on, you know, and just need to explain that he had lost an army of the Caesarians, so he refused. It said here that he committed suicide rather than surrender. I'm not sure if he did that or if he actually did fight, because it said that when he declined that offer to the officer, he just turned back towards the Numidians and continued his fight, and he did die here. I don't know if he died by his own hand or by Numidian weapons, but yeah, this was a disaster, and as said, this was the end of the Caesarian expedition to North Africa. And also, as I said previously, a few years later, Caesar will be back here, and I think we have at least one scenario in this booklet from that expedition. We're gonna see that later, of course. We have a lot of happenings before that, but yeah, this is it. So the strategic outcome of this is that the Pompeian forces were still in control of Africa, and Pompeius himself were really grateful to King Juba for, you know, clinging on to his support, even though the Pompeians lost the battles in Utica before here. King Juba still was you know, a strong ally to Pompeius, and thanks to that, Pompeius actually named him, also, you know, recognized King Juba as the king of Numidia. So that was a big thing also for King Juba, of course. So that's it. So let's check out the war council then. So we had the Numidian army led by Sabura, as said. He's there with the cavalry. They have 5 cards and they will move first. The Caesarian army, led by Curio, is also having 5 command cards. Will fight till 5 banners. And the only special rule in this scenario is that both sides use the Julian Legion rules for their armies. Meaning mediums and heavies can move 2 and they can throw pila. And it's also true for these 2 units on the Numidian side. So let's put this aside then, and let's check out. Hold on. Like that. Let's bring these a bit closer to us, like so. So let's check the troops, and let's start with the Numidian side with the Sabura. I'm almost saying King Sabura, but he's not the king here. So we have Sabura here, and this is a nameless leader coming with the infantry. So we have, if you look at the back line here, we have a heavy infantry, there's a medium, some auxilia. Then we have, you could say, the main line of the infantry. Well, on the flank we have the cavalry and some bow units, but here we have auxilia, warriors, some medium heavy cav together with Sabura, more warriors, and auxilia on the flank there, 2 of them. And they have some skirmishes in front by some light bow units, and then we have, in the first line with this Hispanic and Gallic cavalry that King Juba sent. So that's it. And if you look at the number of units, they of course quite a few more than the Romans have here with Curio in the center here. So he's leading a heavy infantry unit, and on his side he has 2 medium heavies, legionaries. Then we have auxilia further out the flanks, and on the very edge of the flanks we have some slingers. And back here we had those, I don't remember if it was 200, but I have that number in my head for some reason. So 200 cavalry, medium heavies, led by an unnamed leader over here. So what about tactics then? Well, you know, I like to kind of do more of a reenactment thing of these games rather than play super competitively. But you know, it's fun to try to recreate history kind of in these games and then see what happens. At least start like that, right? So I will probably march forward with the Romans here. That's what I wanted to say. And if things get too hairy, I might try to escape up the hill with the troops. But well, you know, it might not even be possible because these guys will be entangled in battle here in the line, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna just move forward, try to keep the flank secure by these medium heavies, cavalry. In case the Numidians start to harass our flanks, we can do some counterattacks here. And that's basically it. Just, I mean, we have heavy troops coming in, so if we get them to fight with us, we can roll some nice, number of dice against those guys. So over here then, well, I might of course start with harassing. We have so much troops that can do missile fire, so we're gonna open up with that, I'm sure. Also try to get those heavier troops forward, the infantry, so we have a nice solid line to meet the Romans when the infantry fight starts. And probably about this medium heavy cavalry in the center there, nice would be to wait a bit with those. And of course, if I get the cavalry charge card, why not do a charge into the line? But otherwise, maybe wait a bit until we have seen some weakened units by the skirmishers, and then we can charge them to try to kill them off. So that's the plans. And as said, Sabura starts the game, so we're gonna see what they have in slot A and B. And as said, we have 5 cards in both sides, so no extra cards anywhere. And as you can see, we have the mounted charge right away from the start. Oh my, an order mounted. Okay, this really just, screams to me. Attack with the cavalry, come on. I mean, these guys could reach them already. Not that guy, but 3 of them could reach the enemy already turn 1. But we don't know if we can play that card yet, of course. Let's see. Well, actually, Fate didn't want us to play any of those cards, so it's a CDRE. That's interesting, but we have these for the future charge. Light troops, that's good for my skirmisher plans. We have 3 left. That will be over there with the bows and auxilia. And we have also a Spartacus card. Oh, what a nice hand. What a nice hand they have. So I'm going to stick to my plan as I said. So I'm going to go with the light troops first. So I'm going to try out the Roman lines a bit with some skirmishing. So that will be 5 units of lights. And I'm going to order the bow units, and I'm going to order all these Numidian lights to start harassing that flank here. So these guys just take a step towards the center sideways to get in range. And the Numidians here will try to swarm here, I guess. So I'm gonna just ride up here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, something like that. So let's see what we get from our first skirmish fire. So let's start from here. 1 die. Well, that was a flag. So these guys were scared off right away. Meaning these guys don't have any target now, but these do. So they're gonna continue with the next one in the line. That's the Auxilia there. Nothing. The bow unit, same target. Nothing. And here then I'm gonna try against that slinger. Nothing. So no casualties, but we managed to scare those guys off, and they could be a ripe target for a... I mean, imagine we play the mounted charge. We could charge home here and maybe even kill off... Well, these guys have a leader, so they don't retreat that easily, but if they would have been without a leader, I might have tried to attack to get the flag and kill them. But maybe it's not doable now. But that's how it starts, and I think... oops, there's one guy upside down there. I think this is maybe reflecting what happened. You know, the Romans are marching up to, you know, arraying for battle, and the Numidians immediately start to harass them and scare off some lighter and getting towards the center eventually to harass those heavier guys. So let's replace that card and then go to the Romans. Oh, let's check A and B first. 3 right and 2 left. C, D, or E. So it's the same thing here. We don't see these two in play now. So it's a coordinated attack, a double time, or 2 units right. I wonder how double time works with when we have the Julian legions. Okay, move to hexes and battle. That's the thing. Okay, so coordinated. I don't think I want to use the double time yet. I want to use that when we eventually charge the lines here. So it would be the coordinated or 2 units right. I don't see why the 2 units right is too important right now. So I'm going to actually play the coordinated. Try to handle the situation here and see if we can scare off that bow unit there. In the center, well, a center, I don't know what to do really. But on the left, I'm gonna take those guys. And the center, I don't want to break the line, so I ain't gonna order anything in the center. So these guys will just move up 1. So now they're at least supported. And then we do some skirmishing. Let's start from here. 1 die against... Let's take the closest guy here. And that's a hit. First blood. These guys also slinger 2 dice against that light bow. Nothing. All right then. Then back to the Numidians. So D or E. So we have 3 left or the Spartacus card, which I will not play at this point. I think. No. Of course, we could get the extra die here as well. I mean, we could... And fire with some extra dice. Some really... Should we do it already? I mean, if we could get some mediums, we could charge. Imagine this thing. Let's say we get some light, we can fire here, hoping to get these guys to retreat with the extra die we will roll. Then we could charge here. Suddenly these guys are not in support anymore. And we would attack with 4 dice. We might do it. I mean, otherwise we would need to play 3 units over there. And that's a bit lame. I'm gonna do it. Spartacus it is. So I'm gonna roll 5 dice and see what we get. I'm gonna go aggressive with the Numidians. Okay, so these two are dummies, I think. Only leaders and symbols. Okay, so we got 2 of these lights and 1 medium. Maybe not super good, but do we dare to do the attack then? With only 1 cavalry. They can always evade, of course. Let's do it. So I'm gonna order 1 light here. That's the medium. And for the other light, I'll take the other bow. So these guys, some crazy Gallic cavalry here, they charge. Not sure if Sabura sent them over or if they just, you know, got crazy and attacked by themselves. Let's say that. That's cool narrative, right? Sabura screamed to them to hold the line, but these guys want to fight, so they charge against the flank. Let's see if that's a good move or not. So, but let's start from here. So we're gonna fire, and this time we're gonna fire against. Let's take those guys. So normally it's 2 dice, but since we got the Spartacus, we have 3 dice. Hoping for some blue. No hits at all. Bad roll. Now it's important. We need to get these guys to retreat to get this attack more efficient. So let's see. 3 dice, hoping for 1 flag there. We got it, and a hit. That was actually a really good roll, because now we are forcing them to the baseline. And these guys seeing the cavalry, so I won't retreat here or here, because then I'm sure I can get attacked by the cavalry if these guys retreat, and you know, the bonus movement thing here. So these guys actually scattered towards the edge of the board here to get as far away from that cavalry as possible. So these guys then, now we have an unsupported auxilia on the flank. And these guys will attack with 4 dice. What they're hoping for is like maybe 2 hits and a flag. That would be the optimal one, right? Well, there weren't no flags, but let's see now. We got... There's a green, so it's 2 hits. Okay. The flag would have been preferable there, but nope. So these guys now battle back. And they hit with 1. Okay. Not that good of an exchange that I was hoping for, but well. That was happened. But now, since we played the Spartacus card, we need to reshuffle the deck and then deal cards after that. So I'm going to pause here and do that and be back in a sec. Okay, so the cards have been reshuffled and the new card dealt to the Numidians. So now it's the Romans again. D or E, double time or 2 right. Double time will not be, so it will be the 2 right. So I'm gonna order these guys and these guys. I'm gonna get back to the line and I'm gonna attack here to scare those guys away. So I'm gonna move here and they can of course fire, and these guys will not move. I would like to get a line command to these guys so they can get forward, and then I can use the double time. But we need to get as many as possible. A line command or center leadership would be great. Anyway, let's start from here. These guys will evade. I'll roll my 4 dice. Hoping for some blue. We got another one of these riders. And then these guys evade 2 back. And they're gonna go there to get... I mean, could have gone there as well. But then these guys could have fire at me, so I'm gonna go there. So these guys will now fire with 1 die against that bow unit. And that's a hit. Wow, Romans are fighting good now. I mean, there's no real panic here, even though they are getting, you know, flanked and all that. Of course, we have seen some losses here, but as you can see, the Numidians actually lost one more block than the Romans right now. So that was the 2 right. And then we go to the Numidians, who plays a tactic card or lowest order count. So we could play, I guess it would be the mounted charge, or otherwise, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it needs to be the mounted charge or 3 on the left. Maybe, this is not on the left. I would have liked to get that guy away. But if I would play the mounted charge, This is hard. This is hard. What if I would play the mounted charge now? Maybe I could get a big... I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Part of me don't want to do that, and I hear you guys screaming at the screen, don't do it, you know, cavalry is fragile and all that. But I don't see, otherwise I need to play 3 over there. Of course I could continue with the, should I do that? Hey, let's fate decide. So 1, 2, 3, I will play the mounted charge, and that could spell the doom for the Numidians if they are not lucky with the dice in the attack. If I roll 4 to 6, I will take it easy and play 3 over there. Okay, I think maybe some divine power wanted me to not go too crazy here, and maybe you guys also are relieved by these decisions. So let's do 3 over here then. So let's continue with the skirmishing then, and why not start bringing forward some infantry? So let's take these guys and these guys. And do I want to rush forward too far? No, let's do like this. These guys goes here. And these guys goes here. So we have a kind of a cluster of auxilia coming up there. Maybe they want to take this hill in possession. But we have 1 fire to do. A 2 dice attack against the slingers. Nothing. Double leader symbols. That's it. And then the Romans. Okay, so now they got the tactic card or lowest order count, so it needs to be the double time or 2 left. I think I'm gonna play the 2 left. So we continue to fire. And we will also start 1, 2, 3 harassing those lights. So I'm going to start here attacking those guys who will of course evade. But we will roll our 3 dice. And we have one green there. So we are wearing them down. We cannot gain ground though. So these guys will then fire at the unsupported guy there with 2 dice. Getting nothing. And that's it. Okay, bad thing with this move was that now these guys are unsupported again. But it's a harder... Well, do they want to get behind our lines? Might not be too healthy for these guys, to be honest. So I'm not sure they want to do that. Numidians. That's an A, B, or C. The mounted stuff again. Order mounted, mounted charge, and leadership any section. Yeah. This is hard. It's so many of these mounted stuff here now that I almost want to do it. What the heck? Let's do it now. Mounted charge. Sure, we have 5 of them. So which ones will we take? It will be these guys. I'm gonna get Sabura with me, even though he can't reach anything. Let's take these guys as well, so I can do one more. Let's do this guy. They will ride here. These guys will go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's see now. I don't know. I had kind of a bad feeling about this, but it's fun. Okay. So the plan is I want to get these guys away. So these are not supported anymore when I attack with the next guys. That's the plan. That's why I dared to do it anyway. I mean, but of course we could be brave here and just stay. These guys will though roll 3 dice. So it's a risky thing. If they start rolling flags, we are starting to die really quick and still open up the flank for the medium heavies. But if we evade, we know we're opening up the flank for the medium heavies, and that cannot end too well. So these guys will be brave. They will stay and try to hold the ground just to keep the flank, refuse to flank for the other guys here that attack. So we're gonna let those lights attack us and hope they don't roll any flags, which they did. They didn't hit us, but we need to take the flag, and since we need to go 2, we lost 1 block due to that. These guys cannot gain ground and they are in a bad position, but let's see now. These guys should be activated, of course. So next thing is to attack here, and now we have 4 dice. Not leader support though. These guys, this leader could not reach that hex. That would have been the optimal one, but that didn't happen. So 4 dice, and as a new medium player, of course, want some flags here, or not some, but 1. We got it. Oh, that was a good roll, perfect roll. 2 hits and the flag. That's what I was looking for with this charge, you know. So they will retreat. I will come back and attack again, hoping for 2 hits now. And let's see, that's Auxilia. Yeah, that's 2 hits. So we killed that unit, got the first medium victory banner. I can still take the ground. Should I? Forcing those guys to retreat in that direction. Doesn't really matter, I believe. No, I'll stay here. Then these guys will attack the next one. And now these guys are out of support. And this time I also have leader support with me. But I hope to get kind of the same result. A few hits and 1 flag. No flag this time, but look at the roll. Look at this impressive roll. That's 4 hits. Thanks to the leader support. So these guys just wipe out a legionary unit by 1 cavalry charge. That's amazing. So second banner dealt there. We're gonna gain ground. We're gonna go back and attack again. Hope for the same result, more or less. Oh, that was hard. And almost the same thing happened again. We got 3 hits this time, thanks to the leader support again. So these guys lost 3 blocks, but they stand their ground and will battle back with 4, also with leader support. So they hit us with 1, 2, and then they got the flag, so we need to take that, which we gladly do because these guys had done their job. 1, 2, 3. We still have one crazy attack to do, and that's these guys who will attack that weakened Auxilia there with 4 dice, hoping for 2 hits to gain a banner, but they only hit with 1. Bad luck. Can't be lucky all the way. I mean, these was some lucky rolls here. So these guys will now battle back with 3. They need 1 hit. They got it. So this unit is now eliminated. It was a suicide charge. So it's 2-1 now for the Numidians. Wow, that was something. That was something. Holy schmoly. I mean, we have 2 ripe targets here to gain for the Numidians. I mean, they still have some cavalry that can reach them, right? Not here, though. These guys could get away. But do the Romans want to, you know, use 1 activation just to get these guys away? Because so much are happening here now. So let's see what the Romans want to do and can do. So we got an ABC, so you should have a few options, though. So 3 on the right. 3 on the left, or another double time. Look at this. Another double time. Crazy. Okay. I don't think I want to play there. I think here is more important. So I'm going to play 3 on the left. I only have 2. But I want to get that cavalry in action. So I need to play this. Even though it's only 2 units, this is tough, and I want to get these guys so they can evade. So I will move them. So I will move them there. They will fire. Now, who should we try to get? These guys will just evade. Here we have a target that we need to take, I believe. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. But then these guys, I mean, I don't want to scare these guys away. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's rethink this. You know what? I go here. I want to, and I go 3 hexes with these guys, and then I will attack. 3 dice and leader support. These guys are not supported. They cannot evade. And we got, oh, now it's a Roman good roll. 3 blues. I mean, both sides are on fire now. So these guys are eliminated. We got the Romans evening up. It's to 2 against 2. So I can now gain ground. I could go 1 more even. But I think I stay here and I'm going to attack these guys who will evade. We roll our 3 dice. And can you believe it? We got 1 more. Then these guys evade. And they go towards the flank. Then we still have these guys who can fire with 1 die. And the lucky target will be these guys or these guys. Who should I take? I mean, if I roll a flag, we force these guys all the way to the end there. These guys are a bit dangerous, but I'm gonna take the lights. 1 die. Let's hope we can scare them off. But we did not. And no hits either. But that was a good cavalry counter charge by this nameless leader here. They killed off one of the mediums. So now, well, it's very even. It's very even. This is still a real open battle. So with that said, I think this might be a good part to end this session. I'm sure we're going to see the end in next, because we have a lot of weakened troops and we are seeing both sides now committing to the real battle. So we have an intense part 2 coming up, I believe. So thank you guys for watching this one, and I hope you did enjoy it. And hope also to see you back in part 2 of the Battle of Bagradas River, 49 BC. Bye for now.